Hey, everybody. Welcome to the CNET Dialed In podcast. Today is Monday, March 5th, and we have plenty of phone and mobile technology news for you today. For you guys who don't know, Mobile World Congress was here and now is gone. It was last week in Barcelona, and we're going to give you a quick rundown of what happened there, just in case you missed all of that crazy smartphone news rolling out of the show. And we also are going to talk about all sorts of cool things. Like, specifically, we're going to talk about the future of Bluetooth, which some people may have forgotten about, that Bluetooth is still out there and exists, and people use it and love it. Yeah, it's true. It's true, man. And then we're actually going to chat as well about the iPhone 3.
iPad 3.
Sorry, my God, iPad 3. See, I've got phones on the brain, man. I don't know. I don't talk tablets that much, but yeah. So the iPad 3. This is a Apple week, you guys. Can you believe this? It's pretty much, we have 2 days until the press event supposedly will kick off, and after that, it'll pretty much be Apple news forever, or at least for about
forever,
seemingly forever,
for about maybe about a month or something. So we'll just gear up for that. And we're going to be talking about all the other news as well that we have been watching. So we are joined by Lynn Law, the awesome Lynn Law in San Francisco. Hey, Lynn.
Hi,
Brian. And we also have Roger Chang here in New York. And he's going to be chatting about his experiences when he finally gets out of that phone booth.
Hey, all. Yeah.
Are you still in that phone booth?
Yeah, actually, that's my apartment.
Oh.
That's they don't pay us a lot of CNET, so that's really the only thing I can afford is that phone booth. But you know what? During a rainy day, definitely glad I had that phone booth.
That's right. At least you can put something in there. And the man behind the dials, we have Stephen Beecham.
Good morning, everyone. Howdy.
Good morning,
How's
Stephen.
it going?
And we are basically just going to be chatting real quick. So let's just dive in and see what actually happened at Mobile World Congress. So I wasn't there, but I was watching all the news as it rolled out. Roger was there. He has got plenty of tales to tell. But just really quick, we're going to just launch into Kent German's quick piece and wrap-up of the show. And, as it turns out, there were definitely folks that were real innovators, like Nokia. They had their Lumia 900, I believe. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. The CS, they launched the 900, but the 808 PureView.
Right.
Which,
it's a 41 megapixel camera.
Yes.
Ooh, but unfortunately, it's on Symbian, so no one's going to buy it.
Yeah. Okay. It's true. Wow, really? That's not right. That's terrible.
It's a little tease. It's like, we've got this awesome camera, but it's on Symbian, so...
That is such a letdown. But in any case, it's still pretty high-tech camera gear to arrive in a smartphone. So
and
that's pretty cool.
There have been some pictures out already, some test shots of photos taken with the 808 PureView. I suggest you guys check it out. It's really good. It's more like you don't lose any quality in the pictures when you zoom. So it's kind of amazing how far into it you could zoom in these pictures that are taken on this little small camera phone.
There's a picture out there someone had taken of HTC CEO Peter Chow, and along with the Nokia CEO Stephen Elop, and they actually zoomed into Peter's press badge, or his Mobile World Congress badge, and it was crystal clear. It was kind of crazy how it's a small part of that picture, but when you zoom it all in, you'd expect it to be blurry, but it was crystal clear. It's very impressive.
Wow.
So can you actually see a use for that in real life? Maybe zooming in on someone's menu from 3 feet away.
Just for a spy.
300 feet away.
I don't know how useful that is, but
spy menu.
It's cool.
It's
cool.
Trying to come up with some sort of use. I guess it's it's good for like panorama shots and that type of thing.
Although it's important to know, it's not the sleekest phone. If you hold it, it's got this sort of bulbous thing that sticks out of the back of the phone where they obviously jammed in the 41 megapixel sensor. So it's it's not exactly a sleek phone, but it's still cool.
Yeah, and actually, didn't you have an interesting experience where Nokia decided to take you and a bunch of other tech journalists out to test the resolution of this device, and involved something with a mountaintop? Is that right?
Yes. Well, basically, Nokia for a little while stranded me and a couple of other reporters out in the mountain in Barcelona, which is not exactly a place you want to be when you don't speak the language. You don't actually have that much, you don't have the currency there. But basically, they for one of the Mobile World Congress press events, they were taking us out to dinner at a observatory at top of a mountain in Barcelona. Fortunately, the bus driver got lost, ended up in this narrow road where he couldn't cross, so he just basically told us all to get out and walk the rest of the way. He said, it's only like 20 meters, it'll be fine. So there we are. It's about, I think, 20 reporters from various blogs and media outlets. And we're walking there in the dark, and it's higher elevation, so it's a lot colder. And we walk about half an hour, we realize, or the Nokia folks realize that the observatory is a good 150 feet above us. And to actually get there from where we were would require us to actually climb the mountain.
So you didn't bring your hiking gear?
We did not bring our hiking gear, no. And the best part was they couldn't get any service on their Nokia phones. It was a great moment where they're like, I can't get in touch with the bus driver. My phone just won't work up here.
Oh my gosh!
But ultimately, it all worked out. We ended up having to actually turn around and walk back another half hour to the bus, which it was actually ultimately his fault. He actually found the right road, and it only took us 10 minutes to get there after that. But
they let you take pictures with this phone, right? Or did they even bother?
No, they didn't. They didn't bother. At that point, it was dark. I mean, I brought my own camera, so I sort of snapped shots. But it was, it's a lot of shots of the mountain.
But that was the idea of the whole thing, is to get people up on that mountaintop.
Well, the idea was the observatory, and we actually, it was really cool. We got a chance to sort of look through the telescope, check out sort of a close-up view of the moon. The idea being that sort of the zoom capabilities of this telescope is sort of what inspired the creation of the peer view. It all sort of ties in. We didn't actually use the peer view that much until dinner. The exec sort of had the phone out. We got to test it a little bit, but
so they didn't actually let you take pictures with it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
And overall, I mean, the Nokia folks were very embarrassed about that. And rightfully so. But ultimately, the reporters, we all seemed to take it all in good spirits. It was kind of a funny bonding experience. I mean, granted, we were bonding over bashing Nokia and how poorly this was planned, but it was a good event, and we don't obviously hold any grudges against Nokia for getting us stranded on a mountain.
Travel in foreign lands is always fraught with lots of peril. So
yeah.
Let's glad you made it back to us from Barcelona, and we'll definitely can't wait to check out the peer review if it'll actually make it to the U.S.
That's highly unlikely.
It probably won't, but maybe they'll integrate the technology into their other phones.
That's what they're saying. It's going to show up. It'll show up in a Windows phone eventually.
Cool. All right, and then quickly, I did a quick piece on the power of Bluetooth 4.0. So, folks who don't know, there's a new profile of Bluetooth out there. It's 4.0, and it provides a whole lot of new features like increased throughput, also NFC support, and also they're really pushing this low energy performance. So basically, it will improve battery life by a huge, significant amount. So that is something that folks will probably want to check out, just because I don't know about you guys, but I use Bluetooth pretty much every day, and I use a stereo Bluetooth headset, which is just awesome. So there are always snafus with Bluetooth, but I think the standard's getting better, and a lot of these new gadgets, like these watches, like Roger, you were at the Nike Fuel Band event where they talked about this device, which is using 4.0, and then it's basically going to be a fitness device and able to track your activity and all that stuff, and talk to your phone too. So there's a whole lot of new products out there. There's a new watch, from Basis, that's also a fitness product. So we're going to see a whole lot of new innovation around that technology. So hope you guys can check it out. And if you use Bluetooth, let us know. We'd love to hear how you actually use that technology. And then, of course, we can't not mention the fact that Apple is having an event for the iPad 3, which everyone is expecting on March 7th. So there's so many rumors out there. Have you guys? What do you guys think is going to be this product? Like, what's going to be?
Well, I mean, I think there seems to be consensus out there that this is more of a minor upgrade to the iPad 2. We're talking about a higher resolution screen, probably updated software, minor tweaks to how the body looks. It doesn't seem to be kind of a huge step up or a huge kind of revolution in terms of a new tablet.
So you think it'll be like thinner at all, or?
Actually, from what I understand, I mean, these are granted all just rumors and speculation, but it seems like it's going to be a little bit thicker, and that's to accommodate the higher resolution screen.
Okay.
What do you think about the home button? Last week I heard there was going to be no home button. Then I heard there's going to be 2 home buttons or two new buttons
Two
or
home
something.
buttons would be awesome.
Yeah, maybe one on the back, one on the front.
I honestly think that invite was just sort of cleverly done. I think it was a shot of the iPad on its side, which I think had a lot of
like it
people
was
thrown off.
They
Yeah,
had
like
tilted it to.
Yeah, they had tilted it,
yeah.
so there wouldn't be any home button. But
Freak
I
everybody
mean,
out.
I'm pretty sure the home button will still be there.
Yeah, you have to have a home button.
Yeah.
I mean,
I need it.
but then again, isn't it true that Android honeycomb, or not honeycomb, ice cream sandwich doesn't have a?
Yes.
Yeah.
They have taken out, or at least the operating system doesn't require you to have any kind of like hard buttons.
Yeah.
But if you notice, a lot of the ice cream sandwich phones that came out during Mobile World Congress still included those buttons.
Right.
The home, the search, the back button. The vendors don't want to let go of those hard buttons. So
Can't trust the hardware 100%, I guess, or the software 100%.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just from what they've told me. They've done tons of studies on how people use their phones, and people still want sort of physical dedicated buttons as opposed to these soft keys.
Yeah, and also a lot of times, it seems like soft keys will just kind of flip around or disappear, and you're wondering like, how do I get to the settings menu? I don't even remember, and you don't get that multifunction ability too, because a lot of times, you're used to using, I don't know about you guys, but I'm used to using the menu key as the, for everything, for whether I'm in like email or whatever app I'm in. That menu key serves so many different functions. It's easy to use, and it kind of is sad to lose that, So, I mean, Lynn, you have an iPad, right? Is that right?
Yeah, but I have the first iPad that came out, and we like it, but we haven't feel the need yet to update it. But maybe with the iPad 3 we will, especially with the higher resolution, because that's something that we're really interested in. And the whole thickness debate, I think I wouldn't mind having it a little bit thicker if the resolution would be better.
Yeah, I feel like with the iPhone 4S and the 4 just sort of set that standard. You're kind of used to that kind of resolution. When I switch back to an iPad 2 or iPad, it's a little jarring that it doesn't seem as crisp or clear as the iPhone anymore.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it'll be higher resolution with edge-to-edge glass, no buttons, the same thickness as the iPad 2, at the same price, and maybe even quad-core. That would be nice.
That would be nice.
But,
in fact, that's what most of the competitors out there now are throwing in quad-core. Right?
Yeah. So that would be cool. Well, stay tuned. We'll have folks live blogging that event.
Yeah, actually, on Monday we're going to do a live broadcast here and live stream the event with Molly and Brian Tong. So come to us.
You mean Wednesday?
Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. So come check out the live stream, everybody.
Yeah,
it'll be fun. That'll
be a wild ride, I'm sure. Very cool. And basically, we're just going to chat really quick about NFC. I understand that Kent German, also out in Barcelona, was able to check out some of the new applications. They had a booth there demonstrating NFC, which is near-field communication, and just showing what all the different abilities and things you can do besides just mobile payments on phones. And I'm all for NFC. I think if it can be used to pair devices, to set up settings without having to enter all these details. You can just bump two devices together and boom.
Yeah, Nokia actually has they have a great Bluetooth headset that connects via NFC. You just sort of tap it and automatically recognizes it. No need to fiddle with buttons or enter codes. It's actually dead simple. It works really well.
I like this parking meter right here. I'd love to just wave my phone at a parking meter and pay for the parking instead of trying to get change.
I see so many ways that can go wrong.
I know, right?
Totally.
You're walking by each parking meter. You're filling every parking meter you walk by.
I'm waiting for someone to figure out how to make it fill up your Google Wallet with all the money, that virtual money that's inside of it.
Well, the problem, and I spoke to a vendor about this at Mobile World Congress, is they'd love to have NFC in every phone that they make, but right now it's a cost issue. They have to get their phones under a certain cost for the carriers, and right now NFC there just isn't really a demand for the services. So I mean, there's a lot of sort of pie in the sky thinking about what you can do with NFC, but mobile payments is sort of the most, I guess, real goal that they could actually accomplish with NFC. So that's sort of why you hear a lot of the discussion around that. But yeah, as Ken mentioned, I mean, there's so many more things you can do with that technology.
Yeah, can't wait till it actually starts to work in ways that people can use every day. Cool. All right. Well, I think we're going to take a quick break, if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah, let's do it.
Coming right back to talk news. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm just working on my delivery. Hey, everybody. We are back. You're listening to CNET Dialed In. We are doing all the new smartphone news that's coming out of Mobile World Congress, and also the new iPad 3, which is supposed to be coming out this week. Of course, there are other news going on besides all of that. We've got, really quick, we've got a rumor that the Samsung Galaxy S3 could hit as early as April. Though, of course, we don't know where, how, or what. It was sort of like something that was announced or cited by our Korean affiliate, ZDNet Korea. So we're going to check those rumors and see if that's actually going to happen.
Turns out that it may not actually happen. Anyway.
May not actually happen.
There's an update response from Samsung basically saying that's not going to be, April isn't going to be when they launch it.
Yeah.
So we're looking at it closer, I think, to the end of the first half of the year. So,
which is basically...
Which is not what they said, which is what my sources have told me. But they also said that they're going to be tweeting their announcement.
Oh, great.
Tweeting their announcement date or launch date for the phone. So
we
stay tuned on Twitter.
So we have to keep our eyes on TweetDeck 24 hours a day.
You're not already doing that? That's
man,
my life.
I can't do that. No, I do. I just hide it, like to look like I'm doing other things besides that. And then of course the other rumor that we have, well, actually it's more than that. It's basically a confirmation that Huawei is going to be making the MyTouch phones for T-Mobile. That's a franchise that HTC was the first to actually provide the phones.
Then LG.
Then LG, briefly. I think HTC is probably the most successful with that. The LG products we looked at were okay, but they're not exciting. Smartphones have changed so much, and it sort of feels like the MyTouch is like a something that's used as an entry-level smartphone to get people excited about them. But it seems like smartphones have become pretty much are coming closer and closer to the mainstream now that you wonder why you really need a MyTouch kind of device like that. But we'll check it out. We'll see what Huawei has, and they're definitely a new player in the smartphone market. And we also have another. I think they're both Huawei and ZTE are both Chinese manufacturers, correct?
Yep, they're actually they're fairly large in the mobile devices business already. It's just we're not aware of them because they don't really operate in the U.S. They haven't had a lot of success in the U.S. The carriers just for whatever reason haven't really warmed up to them yet. They've done well in the prepaid business because they make really cheap phones.
Yep.
But at Mobile World Congress, both of these companies they went big. I mean, you could see Huawei and ZTE's brands everywhere. Huawei brought out this giant Pegasus that was created out of Ascend smartphones, which was pretty impressive and drew a lot of gawkers out there. And this Huawei agreement with T-Mobile sort of shows that they're starting to break in with the larger carriers. So you're starting to see sort of Huawei and ZTE follow the same path that HTC had when they were trying to break in and create their own brand here.
Yeah, so I mean, we looked at a ZTE product. I did personally the ZTE Warp, which was on Boost Mobile. it wasn't bad. It wasn't extremely high end feeling at all.
Yeah.
To put it kindly, but it worked, and wasn't bad.
Actually,
But,
oh, sorry. I actually sat down with a representative from Huawei about 3 days ago, and just to go over what they had plans for the United States and what their kind of strategy was. And I like their view on. They have like a very egalitarian view about how everyone should be able to have these kind of good quality, affordable smartphones, and I liked that vision that they had, especially.
So it's almost like a smartphones for all.
Yes.
Which-
We the people.
Actually ties into T-Mobile really well, right? Because
Right.
that's their whole thing. They want to get feature phone users to upgrade to smartphones because they're not going to win over the customers from Verizon or AT&T, but they can still try to get some of their own feature phone customers to upgrade.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they can shed some of that, lower end kind of funkiness that people are a little leery about. They kind of don't see them as an aspirational brand yet.
Right. Well, I mean, at the show, Huawei came out with I'm not even sure if it's greatly named, Ascend D-Quad
Oh, yes.
smartphone, which
Yep.
they claim is the fastest smartphone in the market.
Yeah, they made a lot of claims there.
Yeah, they did make a lot of claims there. First quad-core 10-inch tablet as well? Yeah.
Yes. And that
Yeah.
I got a lot of heat because I quickly wrote a post on that, and of course I knew that there was a the Asus whatchamacallit? Transformer Prime, yeah, and that was technically the first quad-core 10.1-inch tablet.
Right.
So I don't know if they're splitting hairs or what.
I'm
but
sure they're splitting hairs. I mean,
that's so ridiculous. So they've got a lot of spunk. That-
Sort of have to,
that
right?
Huawei. So anyway, let's quickly launch to the next story.
Oh,
So Lynn, you said that you're
Right.
interested in this Square.
right.
launching?
There's this new app called Square Register that kind of allows restaurants and retailers to handle the stuff that they usually would using their cash register with this kind of iPad app. And it's kind of nifty because it could also help with sales data, which is really important. And you could, instead of printing receipts and stuff, it sends it within the app and things like that. So it's pretty cool. We think
So it's
we like
basically
the
like
idea.
a one-stop, like set up shop, and as a entrepreneur, you can just have a little stand and immediately an iPad, and you're ready to go to take orders and run your whole little retail outlet that way.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see how it could like integrate with Google Wallet and other NFC-enabled devices. If every monetary purchase could be through an iPad or some sort of app.
And I use Square quite a bit actually. I have like a little side business recording studio, and I use Square on my phone when a band's trying to pay me or something. They don't have cash, and I'll be like, oh, I take a credit card and swipe, boom, done. It's real easy, simple. It's real fast. So,
like
and you
your
also
money
like
is
take
mine.
a picture of them and send them a receipt. So it's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, that is very cool. The power of one to
Yeah.
make money.
But building this out for restaurants like this, I mean, if you look at this picture, it looks like a like what you would see in a cash register at a restaurant, real simple to use. That's huge for people.
Yeah, like those things. It's funny because those what do they call them? Like POS.
Point of service,
point
point
of
of
service,
sale.
point of
terminals.
sale.
Yeah, the
terminals, yeah.
software like Aloha. There's like different
Yes.
ones like Aloha and some other names I forget, but those are expensive for restaurants to buy, and if they can just get
Exactly.
this
yeah.
app, that's killer.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. So awesome. And then we also heard about at Mobile World Congress the LG WCD 800, another awesomely lovely name for a product.
Rolls
But,
off the tongue.
Yes. But this is a tablet, and of course, so we have so many tablets being announced and shown. But what's really interesting about this is that it also comes with a cradle. There's planned to come with a cradle that will also do wireless charging. So right out of the box, it will do what's the phrase? Inductive charging. So basically, just like PowerMat or competitors from Duracell make these products. Basically, you just put tablet or phone or whatever on top of the pad, and it'll just charge up, without any wires or hassle or anything like
That's
that.
cool.
So that's pretty cool. Hopefully, we're going to see more of that in more devices soon.
Yeah, and speaking of wireless, a new kind of ad came out from Sprint advertising Google Wallet. And we're interested about it because Sprint also made another piece of news saying that they're going to incorporate Google Wallet in 10 other devices. And the video is kind of cool. It's a lot of theoretical uses of their kind of Beam application on the Galaxy Nexus. So my friend and I actually used we both had Galaxy Nexuses at the time, and we used it to kind of send back and forth like apps and contact info and web pages, and it was kind of cool. It's like a neat party trick. It'd be nice to see what it'd be like in
what kind of parties you go to, I wonder.
Where you just want to show other people web pages for no reason. It's like, oh,
check out my web page.
Click, and then you kind of like put the phones in the back. Yeah, you put the phones back to back, a little phone bump and grind, and then they just
Whoa!
kind of
Wow!
Well, it's just kind of, no, I'm just saying.
I'm blushing right now.
You literally do bump it and then kind of grind it, I guess. Anyways, and then you send over, pages and other cool things, and it's nice. It's cool, I guess. So yeah,
That's cool,
Google
yeah.
Wallet will come to Sprint, and if you guys want to check it out, Sprint has a video out, so you guys can see.
Cool. All right, and then we had one quick review that actually went through. So Lynn,
Oh, right.
you were able to take a look at the ZTE Chorus on Cricket Wireless.
Yeah, that's right. It's not a smartphone, even though it kind of looks like it, and it has some web browsing capabilities. But the biggest thing that I liked about the ZTE Chorus was the Move Music. It's a music service program that kind of lets you download a limitless number of songs and albums, and the user interface of the music service is kind of clunky. It's a little not a very enjoyable experience, but I did like the audio playback because the phone comes with this great I can't remember it now, but it's a certain audio playback that's enhanced, and it has really good like speaker system, and also hearing it through the headphones, I really enjoyed it. For kind of a phone that's not high feature pack phone, it plays well with music if all you're interested in is music and you don't need all that fancy stuff.
So it's almost like a boost. Sorry, what is it? A Beats Audio on the cheap in a way.
And you get to
Poor
listen
man's
to all the
pizza.
albums you
Yeah.
want. It's interesting because, like, if you hear a song like over a Starbucks thing or wherever you are, and you kind of want it, you could have it within a couple of minutes on your phone that you could play.
And the subscription fee is included in the plan, or do you have to pay extra?
Yeah,
for
it's
that?
part of the plan.
It's part of the plan, so that's kind of
Yeah.
like the incentive.
That's Leap's big sort of differentiator.
Pretty
Sign
cool.
up with our service, and we'll get you free streaming music.
Yeah,
Actually been
that's-
really popular.
That's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's that. You know what? T-Mobile should do something like that. To be honest.
They need to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. Awesome. And the phone itself is what? It's like $50, I think.
Yeah, I think so. With like a
38.88 it says.
38, yeah, even lower.
38,
Even
88.
lower.
even.
That's an odd number, actually.
Yeah,
It's
that
like
is a
very
weird-
That's on sale or
lucky,
something.
lucky Chinese number. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is a lucky Chinese number.
That's from Amazon. And then
okay.
other
Could
Could have been
places
discounted
it's
then.
different.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And then the other review that's in the pipeline I'm working on right now is it's a Bluetooth headset. It's the Motorola Elite Sliver. It has, we're still working on the review. Just got it in Friday afternoon. But basically, it's really cool. It comes with this little case that you put the headset in, and it also operates as a battery, and you can carry with you. And even crazier is it has a NFC chip in the bottom of the charger / case, and you can, in theory, bump it up against a phone, and you'll be able to sync it or pair it that way without having to go through all this menus and stuff. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna try that out. Hopefully that'll work very well. It's also very small and stylish looking. So look out for that review this week. And that's about it for reviews. I know that we got a few reader emails this week. We got a note from, and this is kind of funny, we got 2 emails, both with people with very similar names, but I swear they are from different people. We didn't make it up. We have Eddie, who is hailing all the way from Melbourne, Australia, which is pretty awesome. And then he asks us, what do we think of the lack of ice cream sandwich phones at Mobile World Congress? And he wants to get our opinion on that. He also wants to say that he loves us, and he definitely wants to keep listening. So yeah, man, we love you too. definitely keep listening, and we'll be chatting. So yeah, what is this? Like, there were only, what, 2, 3?
Actually, there were quite a few. If you think about
HTC
it.
had a whole bunch.
HTC had a whole bunch. Huawei had a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
LG. I mean, actually, there were a good maybe dozen or so
Right.
ice cream sandwich phones.
It was a lot
There-
better than CES.
CES.
It was a
Yeah.
lot, much better.
We were very sad at CES when there was barely any ice cream.
There were still a decent amount of gingerbread phones, though. Wait, is it gingerbread?
Yeah, well, I know that Sony had their Xperia. Was it
The P and the U.
P and the
The
U.
PU.
Exactly.
I don't know.
I knew you'd go there.
Yeah, I know. I was laughing at that when I saw the announcement. Like, really, guys?
But
PU?
those, I mean, they're very stylish phones, but they are running Android Gingerbread and also dual core, not quad core. So that's a bit of a letdown. And then, so the next email we got was from Edward, and he actually specifically has a question about the Huawei Mercury on Cricket Wireless. Wanted to know if it's a decent buy. So I know that we actually reviewed this phone recently. Jessica Dolcourt, the amazing Jessica Dolcourt, who's actually
She's
still
out
coming
sick
back.
right now.
She's
Still recovering from
that
Mobile Congress.
craziness Mobile World Congress.
Yep.
So, but she reviewed this phone and gave it a 3.5 stars, which is pretty good for a device like this. So basically, the good about it is that for the price, I believe it's pretty low. I got to double check the price because it seems like it fluctuates all the time, but it does have Android Gingerbread and an 8-megapixel camera plus a 1.4 gigahertz processor, which is pretty good. The battery life, not so hot, and I think you have to remove the battery to get to the SD card slot, which is not so great either. So, there's a trade-off there, but I believe we like the phone. It's not a bad Android device. It's not cutting edge, but, it'll do you for a little while. So that's our take. Anyway, I think we've pretty much run to the end of the show. Thanks to all you guys for coming. I know that Mobile World Congress was such a wild adventure, and it was tough to get everyone back, But I want to say, if you want to reach us, all you have to do is send us an email at dialedin@cnet.com and send us a voicemail at 866-402-2638, and we'll definitely listen and reach out to you if we have any questions about your comments. So definitely will love reading the email. And also, if you want to check out the blog, all you have to do is go to dialedin.cnet.com or subscribe directly to our podcast at podcast.cnet.com and also the other CNET podcasts that we produce. So I want to thank everybody for joining us.
Bye.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
Thanks, guys.